It started with an idea 3 years ago. Myself and one of our partners were sitting at the bar in DBA in New Orleans, and we were just joking around about starting a record label, and I said, no, let's figure out how to press records, because physical media is back, and I know I had heard a ton of horror stories from bands and labels having a hard time getting things done. Wait times up to 6 months and things coming back and not being done right. So then we started down that path, and really at first I had no idea what I was doing. I thought, oh, we'll just get a record press and shove it in our garage or something, or do it in my attic or whatever. You don't really know, right? Records start as granulate, tiny little pieces of PVC. It melts on a long tube into a cord, goes into what looks like almost a hockey puck with a hole in it, goes into the machine with one thing that most people don't know: the labels get baked directly into the record through pressure and heat. When the record goes in with both labels, with the puck, come down with high pressure, 285 degree water, then come in with about 70 degree water to cool it off. Another arm comes in, trims off the edges, and then picks that up and lays it on the spindle, and we get a record about one every 31 seconds.
Did you know any of this before?
No, I knew none of this. Yeah, I knew none of it. Really, none of us did. We really didn't. I mean, we just kind of had this dream, and we kept pushing. I mean, we really kept pushing. Up until a couple years ago, there were the large plants who kind of withstood the downturn of vinyl. There were a number of them over the years that had survived and kept going. A few in Europe, a couple here in the United States. Now, there's a couple small people who survived as well. And now what's happening with these new machines is there's a bunch of businesses like us that people are I'm not sure I really like the term, but they're calling it boutique vinyl pressing, right? We have one machine, some people have 3 machines, as opposed to the big plants that will have 30 machines. And the idea behind our business is, okay, let's start small, let's keep it small, and we only want to really service the Chicago community. So far we've turned away anybody who wants to have records shipped to them. We want people to come here and pick them up on location. And we feel there's enough business right here in Chicago that can sustain that for a long period of time. We've set our minimums lower than any other plant in the country. We decided to set our minimums at 250 records because we feel like there's a lot of people in this market that aren't doing vinyl because they feel it's hard, B, they don't want to do 500 records because they know they're only going to sell 250 records. So we wanted to have a place where those guys could come to and have their records done. And so that's kind of the idea of we're going to open up a different market that isn't even doing vinyl right now because they're maybe still sticking with CDs or cassettes or only digital. We want to allow them to be able to go, okay, there's a guy down the block doing records. I can go there and pick them up. I don't have to worry about them being shipped. I can talk to the owners directly instead of somebody who's answering a phone and then I wish and pray that I get my record 6 months later. That's what this room is. We want people to come in and listen to their test pressings right here if they want to. They can come and watch their records being pressed. We're kind of keeping this open door policy to allow people to really experience their art being made on our machine. To me, it has to come down to, and I can't quite explain it, but it has to come down to the fact that it's still a sonic thing. There's a vibration that a needle is reading on that record as opposed to just a digital file like I said, I can't really put my finger on it, but everybody can tell when you totally play one next to the other. I do it all the time between testing a record and listening to digital source material. The record just has that warmer sound to it, richer sound to it. Yeah. I'm always trying to think of new and innovative ways to kind of make our business less a factory and more of an interesting music business. For instance, our grand opening on Saturday, we're having 4 bands and we're recording it. We're having a mobile recording studio come in and we're recording it, and we're gonna produce a record from the day. And I'm not sure any other pressing plant in the country has done that. And I thought to myself, well, this is silly. Let's just do it, and got a bunch of people involved. And so now, and that's kind of how we're paying the bands. We're going to give them product back so they can sell it at the merch tables.
It's like farm to table.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
I have people have thrown out the terms craft music and things like that. Kind of like, I think what our business here, and we did rely on some of the breweries to help us with, kind of how they started up and things like that, and a lot of the like-minded small businesses like that. So there is a big parallel between the two businesses.